It's pretty shameful. She always makes it about her, Cathy, when it should have nothing to do with her. A lot came out from Sophie Cunningham today. I think they're failing us as a league, definitely failing us as players. Also made some comments about a potential work stoppage, a lockout, the CBA.
Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back. She just called WNBA leadership shameful and warned of a potential lockout that could shut down the league right as it's gaining real momentum.
Sophie Cunningham's future with the team. Sophie Cunningham backed up Nafisi Collier's comments. Quote, not really a fan of our leadership. The situation involving Cathy Engelbert, Nafisi Collier, Caitlin Clark.
But there's more to this story than frustration. It's a full-blown warning shot aimed straight at Cathy Engelbert and the league office. What made Sophie risk her reputation to say this publicly? And why could this next off-season reshape everything for the Indiana Fever? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
The heat of the battle, of course, she had a blown out MCL. She had surgery for it. Sophie Cunningham, quote, there's a potential lockout. I promise you we aren't going to play until they give us what we deserve.
Sophie Cunningham dropped her biggest statement right after the Fever's playoff loss, and it came while she was still working her way back from knee surgery. Her body was healing, but her patience with WNBA leadership was gone. Heading into free agency, she posted, not really a fan of our leadership. I think they're failing us as a league. Definitely failing us as players.
And she's been in one of the walking, I don't want to call it a boot, a brace. That's kind of where it's headed, unfortunately, which would be the dumbest basketball decision business-wise ever, considering the momentum that the W has.
Then she went further, saying Cathy Engelbert always makes it about her, when it should have nothing to do with her. That last part turned every microphone in the league toward her, because no player had been that blunt all year. She called the leadership shameful, and the moment that word hit social media, it lit up talk shows and sports feeds everywhere. This wasn't just about one bad call or contract issue. It was a message to the league office that players were done staying quiet. And Sophie wasn't alone. She backed up earlier comments from Nneka Ogwumike, showing this frustration has been simmering for more than one season.
Cunningham is an unrestricted free agent this offseason, Chloe Peterson. My hope is I've had a great time here. I would like to continue that. I might be blonde, but I can't just not look at other opportunities. Says that she will entertain other teams, other offers.
When multiple veterans start echoing the same thing, it's proof the feeling runs deep. If this sounds familiar, that's because the WNBA has faced player unrest before. But this time, the sport is growing faster than ever. Attendance is climbing, TV ratings keep setting records, and new sponsors are finally paying attention. That's why this clash feels different. Sophie clearly loves playing for Indiana, saying she's never been on a team like this in 7 years. But she also admitted she has to look at other options.
Cunningham on if she wants to return to the Fever. Quote, I love that. I have loved being here, and I don't think that's news to anybody. You can stay with the Fever and consistently get... We know how this is going to work, too. She's saying she loves being with the Indiana Fever. She would like to stay, but she's going to listen to other teams.
That tension between loyalty and frustration feels like a breaking point. Her outburst wasn't emotional. It was leverage, a way to signal players may push back hard in the next CBA. And that's where the danger starts. What happens if that push turns into a lockout? People have heard the word lockout before, but this time it hits different. Sophie Cunningham called it the dumbest basketball decision business-wise ever, considering the momentum that the W has. She didn't sound like someone bluffing either. She added, we aren't going to play until they give us what we deserve. That line said everything. Players feel ready to draw the line. The league's growing fast, new fans tuning in every week. But a single work stoppage could ruin that progress overnight.
I always refer back to this. People forget MLB was dead. If you end up in a lockout, it is disastrous. Disastrous.
You only need to look at what happened with Major League Baseball back in 1994. That strike left stadiums empty and crushed attendance for years. People stopped coming back, sponsors vanished, and the trust between fans and the league was gone.
For 5 years after they closed the season down in 94, the last 18 months for this basketball league, and all these fans come in.
The WNBA can't afford that kind of hit. The league doesn't have decades of financial padding like baseball. It's running on momentum, and once that stalls, it's hard to restart. Right now, that momentum is built around relevance and connection. People care about players' stories, their personalities, their advocacy. The Fever became the face of that wave. Caitlin Clark pulling in record viewers, Kelsey Mitchell finding her stride, and Sophie carrying that energy every night. If the season goes dark, all those new fans might drift away, and the media attention that's been so powerful could vanish too. Sponsors are already watching closely. Any talk of instability makes businesses hesitate. Broadcasters start questioning investments, advertisers pull back, and suddenly the buzz gets replaced with silence.
It would completely suck if Sophie Cunningham does not play for the Indiana Fever next year. As for Sophie and the Fever, damn, I hope she stays.
Even bigger moves like the new franchises in Toronto and Portland depend on this upward trend continuing. Those expansions were planned on faith that the WNBA would keep growing, not pause for an internal fight. And if Sophie's frustration deepens, there's already speculation she could jump to a Texas market or an expansion team. That uncertainty adds pressure, putting the spotlight right back on Cathy Engelbert and whether she can hold this story together before it unravels. Sophie Cunningham's blast at the league isn't about tearing it down. It's her way of demanding accountability before the WNBA wastes the biggest chance it's ever had. Players know their voices hold weight now, and they're using that power to force change. The question is whether leadership will listen or let history repeat itself. Fans can decide what matters most.
Sophie Cunningham responded, "People only know Cathy because of Caitlin." This comment got put up on social media. Caitlin Clark should be grateful. She makes $16 million off of the WNBA. She's the most delusional leader our league has seen, and shouldn't, in caps, ever be about our commissioner in the first place.
Player unity or another round of office politics. The WNBA's future depends on transparency, real communication, and support from people who actually love the game. That's what will decide whether this moment triggers collapse or transformation.